Welcome to Heaven Knows Astrology. My name is Angie, and today we're going to look at a chart for a soul born of the sun in Leo, the moon in Virgo, with a Scorpio rising. Let's jump right in. See, you are not just one thing. That is abundantly clear. Let me preface this by saying, take what resonates and leave the rest. Take what's helpful. I'm not here to tell you who you are, but I hope that what I can do today can affirm to you that you are, in fact, right on track for the schedule of your life. You are exactly who you're meant to be. When you say, I'm a Leo, if somebody asks your sun sign, your star sign, what does that mean? Well, it means that the foundation of your identity is built on an energy of being playful, creative, maybe a little competitive, but especially with yourself. There's something in your energy that when you get to nerd out and have fun with what you like to do, when you feel confident in your ability, when you're like, I love this and it's interesting, and you get to be intellectually stimulated, use your mind in a way that challenges you just a little bit, you become so radiant. You seem so confident. This can cause some people who are supposed to be in charge, say like teachers and bosses in some cases, almost feel a little threatened by your energy. This also means that people think that you come across as a lot more confident and radiant than you might actually be. What happens is that when there's praise to give you, people think good things of you. You handled that really well. You explained that in a really good way. Oh, you conquered this challenge in a really good way. People are less likely to actually say that to you because they assume you already know. But when there's critique or feedback to give, ooh, do they love to take you down a notch and deliver that. I know you were more sensitive when you were younger to other people's critique and feedback. There was an expectation of like, okay, if I should have done that better, then I guess I will. But as you've grown older, you've discovered that nobody can critique you as hard as you can. So it doesn't really quite get to you the same way that it used to. But that's the other part of it. You know, behind all this Leo energy of being confident and bold and brave, you've got a Virgo moon. That's who you are on the inside, heart, soul, and spirit, which means that you hold yourself to higher standards than you would demand out of anybody else. This comes from your eye for detail. You have the ability to see what's missing, what's wrong, what needs to be fixed, and then you take personal responsibility to be the one to fix the situation and do things right. Because if you don't do it, it's going to get done wrong. And this is an incredible driving force for your career, your future, your public image, the legacy you'll leave behind. But it's also something that may hold you back because you set such high expectations and demands for yourself. It takes you longer to actively pursue the things you want to pursue and believe that you can do it in the way that everybody else around you believes that you can. You are incredibly capable. You have a wonderful leadership ability within you, especially when you're having fun. But here's the thing. The placement of the planets, where you had Venus, the sun, Mercury, when you were born, this points to that you have to be interested. It has to be something that constantly challenges you to learn more, experience more, grow more, give you something to be able to teach out, because that's a huge part of why you're here. I don't know if you're a teacher today, officially or unofficially, but I see so much energy of a person who's here to nerd out on things that you think are fun, to be able to deliver that further. But first and foremost, you're going to have to let go of the high demands and expectations that have been weighing you down. You are here to be a leader in a lot of ways, no matter what career path you choose. But it starts with, like, now, closing up the last 12 years of your life. Because as of now, you're moving into a new cycle that's supposed to expand your mind. This whole upcoming year from now is really about, it could be travel, it could be education, classes, courses, learning things, discovering new things, trying new things, and even expanding your own faith, belief, and philosophy. Asking the bigger questions. But you got to follow your passion, follow what actually excites and interests you, because, spoiler alert for the future, this is going to lead you down a new career path. And that journey is going to start in roughly July of next year. Not so as to say you'll start a new career in July of 2027, just that that marks the beginning of a new 12-year cycle of your life, involving your career, your future, your legacy, how other people see you. But let's back it up. Who you are today, yes, in part it's that Leo energy. Playful, fun, charismatic, bold and brave, natural leader at heart. As long as you're having fun, that's contagious. And then your moon sign, Virgo, wanting to fix things, change things, wanting to be of service, always having such a sensitivity to see the little details, seeing what's off, seeing what needs to be fixed, feeling that, and not being able to relax until everything is set in order. You already know this, but it is so important for you to keep your environments clean, neat, and organized for you. Because if you feel like your space is cluttered, your environment is cluttered, things aren't in the right place, you're also going to be a little bit more disconnected from who you really are and how you really feel. Do not keep demanding so much out of yourself, because you know you would never demand that out of anybody else. Recognize your gifts, your strengths, and what you're good at and capable of. Now, the funny thing is, when people first meet you, it's not the impression of Leo or Virgo that they get. You were born with a Scorpio rising. Scorpio is literally rising on the eastern horizon at the time and place of your birth, meaning that the first impression you make outwards is a little bit more of an intense energy. You'll notice one of two things. Either somebody kind of latches on, wants to look you in the eye, and feels like you really see them. You'll find that sometimes people will just start opening up and tell you things they've never told anybody before, and then catch themselves and go, I'm sorry, I don't know why I told you that. I haven't told that to anyone. The other thing that can happen is that when somebody first meets you, before they've even gotten to know you, they turn away. They don't want to look you in the eye. They want to, distance themselves. And you're like, what did I do? What's wrong with me? And it's not you. It's the fact that you have this sharp intuition from the first moment you meet people, when they first start new situations, go to new places, do new things. Your first instincts are always spot on. And a part of this is your ability to see through people and actually see who they are at first glance. Maybe even before you're fully consciously aware of it, but people can sense that you really see them. And either somebody feels validated and like, oh, that's nice, somebody really sees me, or they're not ready to meet themselves or are uncomfortable with somebody else seeing through them the way that you do. That is the kind of person who will turn away or push you away before they've even gotten to know you. And this is a challenge. It's not easy to always know from the bat how things are going to turn out. Maybe you're at work and somebody starts a project and wants to bring you on board, and you're kind of like, this is not going to go well. This is going to be really tough. And everybody else thinks it's fine, and you just come across as a negative person, or like you don't have faith in the project, but really you do have the insights and the eye for detail and the intuition to know how things are going to turn out, and that's why you're more cautious. In other cases, that could also mean that you do have the sense for knowing when it's time to start something new, when it's time to create transformation, when it's time to end the old and start a new chapter. But it's that Virgo moon that'll sometimes make you go into analysis paralysis, where you've got to research everything, think of everything, learn everything, study everything, be absolutely 100% sure, and try to wait until you feel ready before you start something new. And that can hold you back too. Because if everybody waited until they actually felt ready, how many things would actually get started? Well, now we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in your life. Let's start with back in 2022 to 2023, you went through a pretty heavy transformation. I think there were sudden and unexpected changes that kind of made it feel like a part of you had to die to leave a new space. A new part of you was allowed to emerge at that point. And that's an adaptation process. And it's not like it was any easier in 2021 or 2024. And put it this way, 2025, especially there around March, April, that was your big graduation into adulthood in the eyes of the universe. That's when you really solidified that you are your own sense of security, that you created your sense of home. That, yeah, may have been some things involving family as well, but you've really reached a maturity because you've experienced so many challenges in so many different areas of your life that reached full circle now last year. So this is where your new life starts. And I know you can feel that. There's a restless energy of like, all right, now what? See, now, this year, starting now and about a year forward, the focus is very much going to be on expanding your mind, learning, discovering the opportunity to study or take a course or learn something that interests you, travel or explore your faith and beliefs and philosophies. This is going to be in the focus. This is going to highlight and spotlight who you are, what actually matters to you, how you bring in value into your life, and what you want to talk about, what you want to think about, what you want to learn. This learning journey that you're setting off on really closes up a 12-year chapter of your life where you've gotten to learn who you are, learn how to express yourself, learn what really matters to you. Now you're beginning a new 12-year cycle in that realm. See, I'm looking at the planet Jupiter, which likes to zoom in like a magnifying glass on one area of your life at a time, and usually spends about 1 year at a time in each area of your life. And while this year, starting now, is really going to be about your learning journey, exploring, discovering, experiencing, traveling, learning, studying, you get the idea. Starting from July of 2027, that focus is going to shift into your career and your future and your legacy, who you're becoming, your public image, how people are going to see you and remember you. No pressure. You don't have to worry. You are living in accordance with your schedule, but you are feeling called to learn and explore something new. There's a restless energy that's opening up now that is pushing you towards following what you're excited about. It's so easy to land in comfort and security and stability of keeping things the way they are, but you know that your life comes with really big endings and really new beginnings, and that can be daunting sometimes, but that's also what furthers your growth and development in your journey. Regardless of what job you choose to work with, whether it's now or later, you know that you have leadership ability within you. And more than that, you're a really good teacher. You're a really good learner. And I think those two go hand in hand. But you've got to follow what you feel passionate about, what you feel confident in, what makes you feel courageous enough to rise to the challenge and break through that inner critic that you have that leaves you in analysis paralysis and makes you want to research and study and be absolutely sure about everything before you make the big move. See, there are 3 different areas I'm looking at when it comes to work and money in your chart. And the funny thing is they're all in fire signs for you, which means that regardless of what you do at what point in your life, you've kind of got to burn for it. It's got to be fun. It's got to be playful. It's got to be something that changes and moves and makes you change and move. See, your second house is about how you can create value in money, and that is Sagittarius energy, which means that you will somehow, in one way or another, always be able to earn money by exploring, learning, and teaching. This is always going to be something. And besides that, that might even be involved in another country. I don't know how much experience you've gotten already if you've gotten the opportunity to work in another country, but going places, traveling, doing things. But you're likely to have day jobs, the kind of jobs you need to take just to pay the bills, where your energy goes in all or nothing bursts. But recognize that this is kind of how you are in your day-to-day life. Even if you have certain routines in place that work for you, your energy shifts where sometimes you can do 200% more than anybody else, and then you kind of crash and collapse and need a rest and recover, and maybe you're bored and disinterested. And then something switches, something changes, and all of a sudden there you are in your strength and your energy, and you can crash head first and do so much more than anybody else can before you get tired again. Because of this start, stop, all or nothing energy that you tend to have in your daily life, in your well-being, in your health, in your energy, I would not want to confine you to the kind of job where there's somebody else who places the expectation on you to be able to output the same level of energy, focus, and drive from Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, day in, day out. You get the idea. You do so much better when you get to be in control of your own time, when you can put your focus and your energy into your projects and adapt them to the days when you feel like you have more drive and motivation and you're feeling more competitive and you're feeling more like this is fun. And then you can step back and do less when you're not in that energy. Am I saying you should be your own boss? Yeah, kind of. But I also know that you're right now in that process of figuring out. I mean, this kind of started in February, of discovering what is actually fun for you now. What do you want your life to be about? What do you think is exciting? What are your reasons for living? What sparks joy for your inner child? Where are you most creative, and how can you integrate that into your everyday life? In modern day society, we leave our creativity and fun for the very last bit, you know? We prioritize our work and our routines and our chores and all the to-do lists and the things that are expected out of us. And if there's any time left, energy, or resources over, maybe we can dabble in what we think is fun and playful. But that needs to change. For you, it needs to change now. Now you're really leveling up into taking responsibility for creating the joy in your life, to creating reasons for living, to reconnecting with your inner child. As hippy-dippy as that might sound, this is actually important that you find your way back to your playfulness, because for you, this ties into your career. You will be remembered for somebody who was playful and who did have fun and who was a natural leader in your field, because you love what you do. It represents who you are at heart. I'm seeing other placements that also kind of involve healing your own inner wounds in order to really blossom out career-wise and in the public image. But I also see that in this incarnation, you don't have to believe in past lives. I believe in it enough for both of us. You're not just here for you. You're here for a bigger purpose. If you're looking at your birth chart, you're going to see a pretty substantial big blue triangle in the middle. And you'll see this for people who are here to bring more to the world. You have a certain set of gifts, skills, natural abilities that are very good for the world around you. But it means that you have to have the courage to believe in yourself and to tap into these gifts and bring them to the surface so you can inspire other people. And for you, that really comes from allowing yourself to transform by ending what no longer works and creating what you want to see. And maybe there are people who are like, that's not how we do things. We've always done things a certain way, and you got to keep following the rules and coloring within the lines and doing things in that way. And this is where you're going to step into your power and say, yeah, but I have a better idea. And my way is going to be more interesting or more fun or more effective. And then for you to take responsibility and know that you can create stability and security through that. And then also to really step into your Leo self and know that I'm going to rock this because I'm me, because I want to, because I feel called to this. And figuring out what your calling isn't easy for anyone. But we're going to look at two important things in your chart. First of all, you have the asteroid Chiron in your area of career and future. And Chiron's interesting because it's also known as the wounded healer. Somehow you have inner wounds that you need to put your full focus on healing within yourself. This can be the high demands and expectations you have on yourself, or healing from the high demands and expectations that others have had on you. Maybe this is perfectionistic traits or things like that that kind of hold you back from living fully, a little bit from overthinking things, a little bit from needing things to be perfect or just right, feeling either inadequate or like thinking that it's not going to be good enough just yet. You have to wait until certain circumstances fall into place. But the more you can heal that and be kind to yourself and really know that you are the right person for the job if you feel called to it, whatever job that may be, the more that you're not only going to help to heal yourself, but a part of your legacy that you're going to leave here in this world is that you are going to help other people heal themselves too. I don't know if this goes hand in hand with your role as a teacher or a leader or all the other energies that I see in your career future, but somehow you are going to be a guiding light in helping other people understand that, hey, I can change my situation. I can choose to feel better. I can keep being strong and carrying on and moving towards the life and the goals that I desire for myself, even if I've experienced tough things or even if my life is difficult. You are a role model, but that starts with you putting the work with yourself to be the best role model you can be for your own inner child before this spills out to other people. And you don't have to feel like, oh, great, another demand, another expectation. Don't worry. This is going to happen quite naturally. In your own personal development journey, the more that you work on healing any inner wounds that may be blocking you, healing triggers that stop you from living your best life, the more you're going to shine as a role model to others, whether you mean to or not. But we got one more interesting thing in here. I'm looking at your nodes. Your North Node, the homework for your soul, what's out of your comfort zone, what you didn't get to experience in this life that maybe, in a past life was very different. That's your, how do I put this? All right. Actually getting to go deep into your own subconscious, your psychology, your psyche, your dreams, maybe your heritage, but going deep within to bring out parts of you that haven't gotten to shine the light before. That's the homework. It's not that you're playing roles or that you have a facade or that you're acting for others, but there is so much more to you beneath the surface that's never really gotten the opportunity to show up and lead your life. And that's a part of your homework. Discover your hidden talents and gifts and interests and what excites you and what scares you. Discover who you are on the deeper levels to bring that to the surface. That's a huge part of your homework. In your previous incarnation, your whole life was so focused on your day-to-day life, your health, your work, being of service, making routines and habits and structures work day in, day out, like on a factory line, that you were so focused with what was in front of you that you weren't allowed to go within you. You had things, fires to put out, things to do, expectations to meet that you did on a daily basis your entire life. I imagine that you were the kind of person who had one job and you did it well and you did it until the day you died, and that was the expectation that you lived up to, and that kept you so busy that you never had the opportunity to discover what else was inside you. And that's what this life is about. There is more to you than meets the eye. There is more to you than you may be aware of now. And that's going to be the whole journey of discovering. But this starts with your curiosity, your openness to follow your interest, to follow what intrigues you. The more you challenge yourself, the more you allow yourself to test the water, see what else is out there, see what's interesting, see what you're good at, see what you want to challenge yourself in and grow and develop within. This is going to help you get to know levels of yourself that you haven't explored before. And that's an important part of your journey. It might not even be work related. Who knows? But that's for you to discover. But with Saturn and Neptune circling through your 5th house, again, I sound like a broken record, but this is so important. Prioritize your fun as if that's your job, because a lot of other things are going to fall into place from there. I'm pretty sure that when you were 13 or so, you had a dream. There was something you wanted to do, and maybe that's not realistic for your situation right now, and maybe what you want has changed, but think back to what your inner child would have thought was fun. Again, not just as a work thing, but on your free time. What's creative? What's playful? What makes you feel really alive? Because the more you feed that battery, the more strength and motivation there's going to be to do what you want to do. Speaking of strength and motivation, this is such an important part of your chart too. I realize that it's hard sometimes to do things for yourself because it'll benefit you. You're the kind of person who's willing to lift heavy and do the thing that needs to be done. You get driven and motivated when you know that you're making a difference for a bigger group, for a community, for a cause, for a purpose. Explore what else is there. Think about what cause or what community, what kind of group environment that you really would love to make a difference within, because I can see in your chart that you would be the person to bring the balance and harmony that's necessary when you feel energized and activated and motivated and feel like, I can rise to this challenge. Let me help for everybody's sake. You're here to make a big difference. And I'm certain that you already have in a lot of ways. Thinking back to the different groups and tribes and communities that you've already belonged to, your classmates, your coworkers, your family, your social circle. But this just has the opportunity to grow and blossom into bigger ways if you want it to. You have a brilliant mind. an intuitive mind that sees things very logically, and you function very well when you can put what's in your mind out visually in front of you, organize it, structure it, build it so you can see the overview in a bigger picture. But your mind is also very different, for better and for worse. You are your own best friend and your own worst enemy all combined into one. But recognize that it's because your mind is different. The way you think, it's a little bit rebellious. You do have a way of seeing, how can I do this differently? How can I break free? How can I change this? And it's that innovative, brilliant mind that will give you the creative ideas for who you want to be and how you want to live. I know that makes it sound like it's all good, and then sometimes it is your own mind that stops you in your tracks from actually moving forward, but you are going to overcome that. You've already put the work in. You're already growing and developing in that direction, and that's good to know. And last but not least, you have two really important planets in your first house, Pluto and Jupiter. You create the transformations that you want to see. Yeah, you have experienced a lot of chapters of your life ending very abruptly and then starting very abruptly, and it feels like big cutoffs that you have to find yourself in. Like, how do I navigate this? It's a new situation. It's a new part of my life. I have to show up as a new person somehow for this and adapt. But you're also going to lean into that this is your greatest power. You get to choose when one chapter ends and a new chapter begins. You get to choose how you transform, what you learn, what you discover, how you bring that to the surface. You get to choose what you want to see the biggest changes in, and you'll have like this amazing, you already have this amazing talent in where your attention goes, energy flows, and wherever you focus, suddenly that blows up and gets big. So whether you end up traveling the world or starting your own company or pursuing your hobby as a career, anything that you fully put your heart and soul into, you have everything you need to make that grow and thrive and learn along the way. So don't lose faith in yourself through that. You have a really exciting future ahead of you. And I've kept it to the near future to the best extent possible. But there are changes coming that we can't even predict at this point. The important part is that you have fun along the way, because that's just going to create the stepping stones that give you opportunities later on that you're going to want. You've got nothing to fear. Lean into your courage. Lean into your strength. Silence the overly critical voice, because it's only useful to a certain extent. And when it's too critical, it holds you back. You are exactly who you came here to be. And you have an amazing life ahead of you. So, dare to ask yourself, what do I really want? Who do I really want to be? What do I really want to do? And how do I really want to live? And no matter who or what says that, oh, that's unrealistic, or that might not be possible, or hold off and wait, trust your intuition, because you got this. If any questions come up along the way, you know where to find me. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to interpret your astrological birth chart, and have a great day.